Live from Houston, Texas, a show for local business owners. This is Business Houston Podcast. If you're a small or medium-sized business, this is your source for trends, interviews, and tips for winning in today's economic climate. Presented by the BBB for Greater Houston and South Texas. You're listening to Business Houston, and this is your host, Matt Bertram.
All right, welcome to Business Houston Podcast. My name is Matt Bertram. I have today with me a special guest, kind of a local celebrity, Joni Wolfswinkel with Real Property Management Preferred and Inside the Wolf's Den podcast. Joni, how are you doing today?
Hey, Matt, I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me on here today.
Fantastic. Well, let's jump right into it. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of how you got into the business? And, I think it's an interesting story, and we can go into your Real Property Management Preferred as well, because I think a lot of people that listen are interested in the real estate space.
Absolutely. Real estate's a hot topic right now. So yeah, just a little bit about myself. So like you said, my name is Joni Wolfswinkel. I actually started my real estate career when I was 19 years old. I've been in the real estate industry now for 21 years. I actually started off as a real estate investor. So I went to the University of New Mexico. So I was taking college classes and really had a passion for real estate and business. And so I kind of dove in pretty quick there. And so I would take my classes during the morning, and then in the afternoon, I would actually go buy houses, and then check on my husband and I. My husband actually was my boyfriend at the time, my husband now. So we're high school sweethearts. We would check on our job sites and, buy real estate while we were in college. And so never looked back. And today I've probably done about 1,800 real estate transactions. And I manage over 1,500 homes in 2 different markets, single family residential properties. And so it's kind of what got me into the property management space. I had a lot of investors reach out to me and say, hey, Joni, I love what you're doing. The market real well. I would like for you to help me manage my properties. And so that's where Real Property Management Preferred came into play. And so now I manage 1,000 homes here in Houston and 500 in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Fantastic. Well, I'll pull up your website here. We can take a look at it. Yeah. And maybe you can talk a little bit about if there's a specialty from a demographic standpoint. I know you're in 2 different markets, single family homes. I know you talked, there's multifamily, there's a lot of different kind of different type of opportunities, as well as maybe who your ideal customer is.
Absolutely. So I'll start with kind of the basics. So property management company, basically we are a full service property management company. So we do everything from getting the property leased out with a new tenant to collecting rent, maintenance, coordinating, you name it. And so our ideal client is actually the investor. Just really want to, get some passive income going. Maybe they have a W-2 job and really don't want to mess with the property management side of things because there's just so many moving parts in it, right? And so our ideal customer is the real estate investor. And we do not only single family, but we also do multifamily as well.
Fantastic. So this is how to get to the website is H-Town. All right. Representing H-Town.
H-Town, yes.
.com. So that's HTownRPM.com, making it simple for everybody. A lot of great resources here for y'all that are watching, referral programs for agents, yes. All the different kind of areas they serve, what they do, a lot of good detail here to go check that out. It looks like they probably have some portals or something there. I don't want to click on anything and go off screen here, but it looks like there's a lot of great things at HTownRPM.com that people could go check out. And so tell me a little bit more about that. So I know that there's a little bit different models in property management. So like, give me an example. Let's like hypothetically say, okay, there's a business owner or executive or, doctor, lawyer, that sort of thing, professional services. They maybe have a house that they inherited, or they want to get into property management. They have a property and then you'll find the tenant and fill it up and manage it? Or like, where do you come in and like, like in the life cycle of it. Can you go in a little bit more detail
Yeah,
there?
so a couple of different things there. So again, we specialize typically with investors. So typically our client will you say, hey, we want to buy real estate. We wanted to kind of dabble into real estate. And so some, have experience in it, some don't. And so what we do is we help them find the right team. So whether it's one of our agents to help them find a property, or they find a property through us, we have actually a company called Texas Turnkey Properties where we actually build new construction properties built to rent. So we build them from the ground up and then we sell them to investors who are looking for buy and hold properties. And once we get the tenant in there, then they just hand them over to our property management company to manage the property. So there's a couple ways to look at it. So we have the investor that, maybe just looking for a property. So we just kind of set them up with the right team to find that investment. And then we help them, secure a tenant. And basically the investor doesn't have to do anything. We do it all. So finding the tenant, collecting rent, maintenance, coordinating, all of that. So that's the one type of investor that we work with, and our experts. We're experts in that. And so the other, we do have the reluctant landlord, which using your example, we might have an owner that says, you know what, I'm moving out of state, or I inherited the property. I really didn't want this property, but I don't know what to do with it. And so I need property management, services on it. So we have those kind of clients as well. So we service both clients.
No, that's fantastic. So no matter where you are in the life cycle, y'all can take care of them. So that is
Correct.
fantastic.
Yes.
So, let's transition over to a little bit about like over time, building that trust, that authority, that expertise in the market. Can you talk? I want to get into after this the inside the Wolf's Den and find out a little bit more about that. I think that could be a great resource for people.
Yes.
But I want to know what the BBB means to you, and I think you recently run an award as well. So could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we won the customer service award. And so, in my company, I have 40 employees. So we strive every single day to provide the best customer experience that we possibly can from the tenant's perspective, the owners, and making sure that everybody has a good experience. And so we have our customer service workshop once a week that we get all of our employees involved. And our goal with that is so we can improve our leadership skills and improve our customer service. So, every company should strive on, their company culture and their core values. And so that's, kind of what we focus on as our leadership, making sure that we are meeting those. And, it kind of gives a stamp of approval of the award that we got, that, we strive every single day to do our best in this industry.
That's fantastic. And so what does the BBB mean to you?
So, I'm sorry, you broke up there.
What does the BBB mean to you?
Yeah, so the BBB means to me, it's just, again, that stamp of approval, knowing that we are doing our best every single day, and we work hard on our reviews, and, and it shows that when somebody's looking us up, that we are the best in the industry. And we have standards for our company. And so it means a lot to us that the BBB has, trust in us as well.
No, I think that's great. BBB is really the standard in the industry. So that's fantastic. So yeah, tell me a little bit about Inside the Wolf's Den and maybe some tips for people that want to get into the business, or things that you've learned that you think would add value to share.
Yeah. So, I know that we talked about this early on, that real estate is kind of the hot button right now, right? Everybody wants to get into real estate, and that's great. I think everybody should be looking at other ways to diversify and make income. And so, a couple of tips that I would recommend is, number one, like if you're trying to get into the real estate space, really educate yourself, right? There's a lot of content out there. My podcast is called Inside the Wolf's Den. You can download that on Spotify, iTunes. It's also on YouTube. And basically it's a podcast, an entrepreneurial podcast. We have, real estate experts that come on weekly. And so really get educated and get familiar with what you want to do, whether it's buy and hold, whether it's, multifamily investing, fix and flips, whatever niche that you're getting into, really get educated on that. And then the second thing that I'll say is, it's important that you find your real estate team. Don't try to do it all yourself. And so, find whether real estate agent, a property management company, which we're Real Property Management Preferred here in Houston. And so somebody that has your back and that will help you every step of the way. Matt, you broke up there.
Yes, you did too as well. We can edit that part out, but for all of you that's live, this is an exciting time in the world of technology with everybody broadcasting these days with bandwidth. But Joni, you were talking about your second tip. If you could go through that one more time and then how to get in touch with you, that would be fantastic.
A couple of tips that I would recommend. Number one, really educate yourself. If you're looking to get into the real estate industry, I would really educate yourself. There's a lot of free content out there. My podcast is called Inside the Wolf's Den. It's an entrepreneurial podcast where we invite real estate experts on and really dig deep into that. And then also, there's just the other thing that I'll mention is that also find your real estate team. I think it's important that you find a real estate team that can back you. So whether it's a real estate agent, property management company, to have your back when you're looking at these properties, and so you know what you're doing. And then find your niche. Whatever, if you're looking at buy and hold, multifamily, really focus on the niche that that you're looking into in real estate.
Well, fantastic. So Joni, it was great to have you on. How is the best way for people in touch with you? I know they can go to htownrpm.com, and there are other preferred ways to reach out and get in touch with you.
Yeah, so my email address is joni@htownrpm.com. So that's joni@htownrpm.com. I also just wrote a book. So for all you women entrepreneurs out there that are kicking butt in this industry or any business industry, I invite you to check it out. It's called The Choice is Yours, Balancing Success as a Wife, Mom, and Entrepreneur. It's also on Amazon. So, and again, Inside the Wolf's Den, you can reach out to me as well.
Well, fantastic. It was great to have you on Business Houston Podcast. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me, Matt.
Thanks so much for
All right.
Thanks so much for listening. Business Houston puts a spotlight on local small and medium-sized business, interviewing those successful business owners in Houston and those business owners that are winning in today's economic climate. Business Houston is presented to you by the BBB of Greater Houston and South Texas. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on social media at Hugh Biz Podcast. That's HOU Biz Podcast. Till next time, this is Business Houston.